Hey makers out there, this is Dorian, and I'm going to tell you how to install my Bowden TPU pusher. I'm not going to actually do a video where I take it apart and do all that. It's pretty straightforward, and if I just describe it to you and you listen to the instructions, you should be able to get it. I designed this pusher because I was having trouble using the flexible TPU filament, the wet noodle feeling stuff, because it just tends to buckle right at the extruder, and you need to get your feed tube right up to it. And while I was at it, I kind of took it upon myself to improve some of the things I felt were wrong with my air tripper pusher, and some other problems I kind of noticed with lots of pushers and kind of things makers make in general on the Thingiverse community. I find people trying to make things, as small and compact as possible, and I don't really understand why. I think it's much more important to make your part as robust, easy to use, and reliable as possible. So that was kind of my focus. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is start your print, and then while that's going, you're going to want to make some of these sharpened point screws. Or if you can find, you can get cone tip set screws. So they're like regular set screws, only the tip is very sharp. And they're designed kind of specifically for this purpose, but if you don't want to buy those, or if you want to use these, I just use these because they're cheaper and I have a grinder, so it wasn't a big deal. Okay, print's done, and you're going to want to tap, you're going to have to do, I think, 6 holes, tap 6 holes, most of which are 1032. You can do 1024. I think 1032 is better. So you're going to want to tap this outer piece, this, your feed tube set screw hole here, and here, number 2, this auxiliary arm bracket holder, and I think that's it. Those are all the holes you have to tap right there for 1032, and then you're going to do a 5/16 18 tap up here. You might be able to get away with a metric tap too. I don't know. Check the size. It should be the same size. If those sizes are right, it should work. Okay, got those holes tapped, and then you're gonna thread this outer eye bolt holder onto the bolt, and then you can use that, put the eye bolt on there, and then spin this on to the main Bowden mount. Okay, you get that on, and then you mount these two M3 by 8s onto the motor, and then put this one on with the bracket under it, of course, then thread that on the 1032 3/4, and then but before that, make sure you get the bearing on the arm, okay, and then put the arm on with your 30mm as well, and then feed your tube in. So you're going to want to trim your tube asymmetrically, cut one more off this side, then over here, and bring it up. You can even touch it a little bit because it's Teflon. It won't create a lot of friction. And set these in there. I mean, not too tight because this Teflon's so soft you'll damage it. And then get your washer, your big washer, spring, little washer, and wing nut. And I'm going to show you just how easy this is to get on and off there. So you don't even need any screws to undo. Now you can do your filament and all that jazz. Great. Okay, get that up there. Tighten it down. And you probably should have said this, but you should already have your MK8 on there. Jog your motor back and forth. Okay, and to center up your MK8, don't put it on tight. Keep it kind of loose. Okay, jog it back and forth. That'll center your filament path for the MK8 right where it needs to be. It'll naturally want to sit there, and then come in. And I guess you should have had it mounted too. Okay, but that's a nice thing about this design is you have it mounted. You can mount it, adjust the set screw. Every piece doesn't get in the way of each other. That's another issue I find with some designs out there is pieces are right on top of each other. You have to undo something, get to something else. Okay, well that's about roughly how to do it. It's not that hard.